art of coaching. So today we are going to delve into a bit of an art. I can say that all three speakers today are artists in their own way. Like, not just artist as a coach. So you're going to see some fascinating, exposure of their artistic bent during this 1.5 hours. This is going to be a session like no other. Yeah. Uh, this week is also incidentally International Wellness Week, Mental Wellness Week. Uh, and we are also kind of combining ICW, International Coaching Week, with International Wellness Week. Mental wellness is perhaps more important today, at least for us in India, with all the economic science that is emerging currently last few days. Some of the others that we have guests joining in from the Central Asia, which is in the midst of a war. And others are affected in their own way. For example, we had somebody who was going through a program, and I casually asked, right? I mean, you must have relatives in Central Asia. So she said, my sister, and my parents live in the West. She lives somewhere in Europe. And everyone else, for me, my friends, family, relatives, everyone is in Central Asia, and everyone is affected by war. And she almost kind of, that there's such a depth of sadness in her tone. I said, I should not have asked that question, right? That is the level up to which the world is affected at a mental wellness space. So we are trying to bring together ICWA from a coaching space in the context of mental wellness. So we have three fantastic speakers to take you through. Shruti, who's a recent PCC, and I mean, she wears multiple hats. When you start, I should take a minute to introduce yourself, the various hats that you wear. She's going to explore coaching from a space of art, not at a high level, how pause can be artful, right? I mean, we are always fascinated about the pause that we give in a coaching conversation. She's going to show a very different perspective to that. From there, Priya is going to take over. Priya is going to also build on it from a very, very different way to how do we check in ourselves. We all are, our community is very passionate about reflective journaling. What else is possible? How do we check in ourselves? How do we connect with ourselves? How do we move away from autopilot to tap into the power of pause? Not just in coaching, but in every conversation. Even when we are not in conversation with others, when we are in conversation with ourselves, right? From there, we have Kabeer who will take over the final session, where he'll bring them all together using the method very popular among many of us, the psychodrama way, right? How he'll build that into coaching framework. So remember, we are looking at coaching at the core. We are looking at some other methodologies, including psychodrama, but the focus is on mental wellness for us as coaches and for our clients, and then the cascading effect on the entire ecosystem. We quote this popular quote by one of the popular authors, Rich Litwin. He says, when we coach, we transform the world. And that transformational impact can happen only when it cascades into physical, mental, emotional, spiritual wellness, right? Over to you, Shruti.
Hello, everyone. A very good evening, good morning, good afternoon, wherever you're joining from. A very, very warm welcome. Let me start by saying thank you so much for accepting to spend some time with us. That is the first thing that I'm humongously grateful for. Time is valuable, yours. With that, I'm going to take Subhash's lead and say I find it very difficult to confine myself in one definition. That's a very neurodiverse brain for you. It's buy one, get one free, right? So I'm an artist, I'm an agile coach, I'm an agilist, and I'm also a coach at this point, right? So PCC seems like just the starting of everything in life at this point. I think that's how I feel, a seedling in a forest that I'd like to be a part of. So that's where I am in my journey. I've written research on agile behaviors. Personal agility is huge for me. And that's where art comes into place, right? So a very warm welcome once again. I want to say to all you lovely coaches and leaders out there, it's a very different kind of a space I'm trying to build. But hey, what is different? Everybody says what they do is different. Maybe it's just a different packaging, but bear with me and walk with me. Have some faith. This is not about learning anything new. It is about noticing what already is here. So I know we say we will talk about art. It's not technically about art per se. It's about creativity, right? It's how you are while you create. So whenever we think of creativity, we think of our childhood days. But who's to say we cannot be creative even as adults? So this is that slight pause for you. That is part of International Coaching Week and also aligned with mental health awareness. You can see the three of us aligned in green, Kabeer, me, and Priya. So it's a small pause, right? To be with yourself a little more gently. Take a moment, arrive as you are. As Subhash said, you're probably running from call to call as ICW concludes. Take a deep breath. Right? Arrive as you are. There's nothing to fix. There's nothing to improve. So what you will need going forward is a blank piece of paper, a pen, and if you're like me and you like colors, I've got a couple of crayons here. I've got a set. But if you have any other color that you feel like, just pick it, whatever you feel like, right? You may feel at this point, I'm not very artistic. Why is she asking for colors? Can we just get over with this? But you don't need to be good at this. That's the secret. In fact, the less you try to be good at it, the more interesting it becomes. Isn't that how life is, right? The more you struggle with something, it doesn't quite come as easily. And we like easy, we like sustainability, we like things to breathe into our life. That's what makes it worth going through, right? So if you feel quite relief right now, let that sit with you. So I'd invite you, pick up a pen. We'll start, right? Everyone have a pen? Yes? If you're on camera, great. If you're not on camera, consider joining me. There's no judgment zone. And if you're not on camera, then give me a digital thumbs up. That works too. Some sort of a signal, right? For this to be less of a Shruti show and more of an all of us show, right? I love the hearts and thumbs up. Wonderful. All right. So the first, we're going to split this into 3 phases, all right? The first one is going to be lines. All right? Lines is all that is called. There's only one thing that you do with this. Pick your pen, right? You've got a piece of paper. We're going to have a little time, maybe up to a minute. Okay, this is simple. We're starting with something simple. All that we will do is draw some lines. The one thing to remember is you will not be picking your pen. Do not lift your pen. You're just going to continue drawing lines. Clear? Everyone? I get a nod? Okay, all right, super, super. It's a democracy, so it's nice to know everybody agrees. So let's continue, right? Put your pen on paper. Go on, start making lines. There's no right way to do this. Your way is the right way. Just keep the lines moving. Let the pen flow through your body. It's okay to let the pen guide you for once, right? Let the pen flow through your body. It's okay to let the pen guide you for once, right? There will be an urge to make it correct, whatever that means. Notice where that urge is coming from in your body. There's a slight discomfort. I've gone through the whole page. She's still not telling us to stop. So what are you protecting as you're trying to address this discomfort? Take a pause. We can stop, lift our pens now. So just, if your mind wandered through this whole thing, it's perfectly normal. The thing is, you came back, you completed. Take a moment to pause, look at what you created. What did you notice in your body and in your mind? Anything that comes to you. You can speak out loud, you can drop it in the chat if you feel like.
Hey, Shruti, I'll just share. Yeah, I think what I noticed is, again, I was not trying to over intercept the lines, right? I was trying to be very cautious. I didn't want the lines to cross over. So I was thinking what to draw first, but then as I was going through your instructions, it became apparent that, I mean, at least my feelings were like, I don't want the lines to cross over. I don't know from where that came. So I took some extra effort to make sure it doesn't touch each other. Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you. Thank you for sharing.
Yeah, just to add, I mean, I had the same feeling, and eventually I ran out of space. So then I decided to cross over also.
Yeah.
So I mean, there is the urge to try to make it as non-intersecting as possible.
Same here, Shruti.
Yeah. Yes, Seema, I see your hand raised. Yes.
Shruti, when I was drawing this, it was a beautiful flow, and I was flowing with the pen. I felt that.
Yeah. So thank you so much for sharing. I see freedom, no caution, just do it, no intention, just let it happen. Desire to correct was strong and needed will to not do it. Interesting. So notice this space is not for you, for me to try and coach what you're reflecting. This is for you to sit with. A few questions to ask yourself. Where is this coming from? Also, my invitation to you, where does this reflection that you're sharing show up in your coaching? And how do you address it when that happens in the moment when you're in the session? Because what this is awareness. This is presence. This is the presence that we offer to somebody else, right? As you're going through this, there's no restrictions as such, of course, as you mentioned, the page size would be. But even though your flow did not have any restriction, and yet you feel you have to correct it. So notice where that shows up in your coaching. We cannot give what we haven't arrived at first. So presence is great, right? So this is something that you can simply take away, even on a day-to-day basis. It's a very simple tool that you can do, right? And I'm not saying when you're in a critical state scenario, you pick up a pen and start making lines, but practicing this makes you think about where your automatic mind is heading to, right? Now, phase 2 of this is phase 1, right? Phase 2, we've gotten some sort of a thought of what the lines mean.
Shruti,
yes,
a few things from the chat, also interesting from the coaching perspective, that trying to know different, can I draw lines, more focus and flow, allowing something to emerge, no agenda. Very interesting things in the chat. Nothing looked like a line, a lot curve, and desire to correct was strong and need will not do it. So very interesting few things that they have shared in the chat.
Thank you so much, Kabeer. That is very, very valuable. More focus also, I see, right? So more focus. Meena also says, I enjoyed it. It was fun. How fun is freedom? That's a question to take back for us. We all love structure, right? We love structure. Thank you, Kabeer. Now, with this, let's move to the next part, right? The next part, the first one we did was lines. The second one is patterns. You've built something, and I'm going to show you what mine looks like, right? Mine is all zigzags. So you've built something now. Let's try to make something of it. By patterns, I mean letting awareness emerge. So now without, might I dare say, overthinking, right? Let's turn these lines into something more, whether it's shapes, patterns, dots, whatever feels easy for you to put through this, right? Let your hand decide, not your mind. Okay, so we'll spend a minute trying to make this. into something. All right, let's go. And if you've got colors, you're nudged to use the colors if you'd like. Whatever feels easy, not what's right, what comes easy to you. If you notice yourself evaluating your art, it's worth noticing. Notice what is driving that evaluation and against what. Patterns can emerge that are not even planned. Remember, you're the maker. You decide. Don't forget to breathe in, take a deep breath. Notice what's emerging while you're making meaning out of this. All right, let's take a pause. I know we could do this all day. I like taking a deep breath when I'm making something. Because you're so focused, you forget to breathe sometimes that you're making something, right? Art has that magic on you. So what surprised you while you were making this? Any reflections? What surprised you?
I realized I had held my breath and I was going to take a deep breath at the exact moment when you said take a deep breath. And I'm like, okay, I didn't realize that. And and I think I was thinking more like the patterns on a sari for whatever reason, and trying to visualize how this would look on a sari.
Thank you so much for sharing, Lavanya. Mobina, I thought Mobiba. Am I saying that right?
Yeah, thank you.
Yes.
I just, first time, I just was drawing lines on a regular, curved lines, but on a regular basis. And second time, I filled the blanks, as we say, and it became like a river flowing. So it's the same idea and advanced a little bit of flow, of freedom to let it be, to let whatever happen, whatever could happen, happens. And so it's the idea of free, and let it be, just let it be. That's it.
Thank you so much for sharing. The word pattern sounded like one pattern at first and soon dissolved into multiple patterns. Yes. What became easier as you continued, right? Because I think Mobiba mentioned that freedom, there was this freeness. Anyone else, did you feel something that became easier as you continued on the path?
Permission to do what the heart felt like arrived fast.
Hmm. Yeah. Here's another interesting question, and I'll show you what mine looks like. This is all completely zigzag, right? Started at a point and around it, expanding became easier for me. Yeah. Thank you for sharing. Numbers emerged. So what were you afraid of that was going to happen but didn't happen at all? You thought, oh, we have to make a pattern now, so XYZ is going to happen, but that didn't happen. Did anyone feel that way? Judgments, okay. Authenticity and joy. No fear. Circles. Okay.
Also, when I was drawing the zigzag, I was trying to balance the pattern, which was little difficult initially, but later on it became better. Then I tried with the circular movement. So that appeared to be easier to me. And it already started moving, maybe the muscle memory, or I don't know. But
Yeah.
it was easier for me to make this circular pattern than the zigzag.
Thank you so much for sharing.
Thank you.
This is a very innate of a long winding road. Long winding road. There you go. Thank you so much for sharing. This is how most of you are feeling yourself right now, right? Some element of yourself is coming through this. And this is how awareness works, even in coaching. It emerges when we don't force it, when you're going with the flow, when we get out of the way enough to let what we have in front of us speak to us, right? We cannot be the hindrance at this point. We have to be able to go with the flow and see where it takes us. To me, Drew, whatever patterns came to mind, when you said pause, I looked at it and I was like, this looks all different, not coming together. Thank you so much for sharing. A lot of reflection on what everyone is saying, right? What does it mean? Where does it show up in your coaching? What is this that we are looking for inside ourselves before we even offer it to other people? So this is a notion in awareness. Awareness emerges when we don't force it. Yes, right? Now that we've spoken about not being the hindrance, let the opposite, what we see, speak to us. Let's do the third phase and the last phase of this, right? So you've created something, put your pens down, right? Now we had some physical creativity, now we'll have some mental creativity, all right? Look at what you created, all right? And I like to call this art as a client. So we're going to see beyond the surface. Now let's try something very different. And I very courageously say, I seldom see somebody do this. But look at your piece as if it were your client. Okay, this piece is your client. Now pause, look at the client. What do you think your client is asking for? Give it a thought. Again, no right or wrong answers. Your art is very unique as you and your client. Question is, what is your piece as a client asking you for? What is present but not obvious? And if you, as the coach, as you are, were to ask one powerful question to this client of yours, what would that be? That's my invitation to you. What is your client asking of you? And if you were to ask one powerful question to this client, what would that be? Okay. Think about that. Feel free to share. Client is asking for directions. I had traffic lights on the winding road, which is to pause and go ahead. Be more colorful. Always fun when we have smiles on the way. Be more colorful. Just open up. I will ask my client. Okay. What's feeling more alive to you in this moment? Let's go. So this activity, this is light. If you had the light, what would be different for you? So this is your creation, and you have the grace of asking the client the question, a client that you created, right? Client is asking clarity on thoughts. What does clarity mean to him or her? Anyone who's not sharing, let that reflection stay with you, right? Because viewing your own creation, your own art as a client creates this beautiful distance. We call it detachment sometimes, right? So suddenly this piece is not a reflection of your ability of art anymore. It becomes something with its own voice. This voice is asking you for something. It can feel surprising, it can feel tender. However it feels, let that be, right? And that's a beautiful question to carry whatever reflection you're taking about. My client, I am pulsating with universal energy. How do I align with it? Thank you. Thank you for sharing. By now, if you notice, we've dropped a layer from when we started, right? We started with the lines thing. We've kind of dropped a layer now. And we're just trying to be as artistic or as fluid as we possibly can be. Something is loosened in our body. And this softness is not incidental. This is the work that we do to be soft with ourselves as coaches, right? We think that as harsh as we are, as strong as we are, as business oriented as we are, we're the best coaches. But do not know there's a mighty, mighty strength in being soft, especially with yourself, right? Being gentler with your own creation translates over time. You start to become gentler with yourself. And that's something that with mental health awareness, right? That's what it looks like from inside. So this is the kind of listening. If you notice, we were listening from a page that we gave life to. So listening is beyond words, right? The kind that sees what's present even before we name it. That's what listening comes back to, right? So bringing all of these three phases together, we'll come back slowly together. My invitation to you, as I conclude my section, is what is the one thing you'll carry into your next coaching conversation? And according to you, what does being softer with yourself look like? I thank you for showing up as you are. And with listening being your vehicle, Priya, all yours.
Amazed, Shruti, as we did this drawing or we did this artwork, like something that we say that listening is so much about the visuals. It's this much percentage of words and this much percentage of your body and all the visuals that goes into it. I'm surprised we can actually listen to a paper, right? And I wonder, do we extend this listen to ourselves? How often do we do that? Do we listen to our tiredness? Do we listen to our body? Do we listen to our urge to feel, let me scroll, let me stay distracted, let me just see one more episode? Do we listen to the decisions that we are making constantly? And not just to us. Are we also listening, extending this kind of listening to our loved ones, to the people around us, to our spouses, to our children, to our co-workers? Do we pause to listen beyond the, how are you? I'm fine. Do we listen to, a friend of yours laughing a lot? What's behind that smile? I strongly feel that it has a connection with the mental well-being. Not just we as coaches, but we as human beings. The presence and listening can be placed at the center stage for us to live a very thriving life, to listen beyond words. Right? So what's our idea of mental health? I'm curious to know from this group in terms of, we are talking about mental well-being, and I'm just curious, if you have to come up with one statement, what would that be?
For me, mental well-being is more having the personal agility to manage peace around my life. I think that's how I look at it. Also having I think peace is what is coming to my mind off the top of my head more than anything else.
Beautiful. Yeah. Mental health is away from distraction. Okay. any other inputs to our mental well-being. Like, for example, I have a son who is in his 10th standard. I sometimes wonder he is spending too much time studying. I feel too much of studying could also come in the way, right? It's not the good or the bad habits. It's just that anything in excess can kind of challenge our mental well-being.
I think Soumya,
So I'm
you
going to
had
ask you some 10 questions, okay? So I absolutely accept the, our own definitions of what mental health means for us. For me, everything in the right amount and me being conscious about what I'm doing and having some control over it is probably my definition of mental well-being. And I'm sure it's not just the diagnosis, it's much beyond that. It's also about, thriving in our environments, being joyful, being creative, accessing all parts of us consciously, all of that. So I'm going to ask 10 questions here to do a small self-check-in for all of us here. And I invite you to be honest with yourself when you say a yes or a no. And notice how many yeses you get for these questions. 10 questions, yes or a no. If you 4 yes and more, you're doing okay. If it's less than 4 yeses, it's a gentle invitation for you to deeply listen to what your body and your mind and your heart is trying to tell you. So the questions are, can you fall asleep in 20 minutes or less? When you wake up, do you feel rested? Can you concentrate without getting distracted? Do you find yourself overthinking over small decisions? Do you often replay past or future situations in your mind? Do you laugh and find humor in everyday situations? Can you be without your phone for an hour without searching for it? Do you enjoy spending time with others? Can you complete your day without feeling fatigue or mentally drained? And the last one, do you feel present in what you're doing? So how many yeses, folks? And how many are 4 and above? How many are 4 and less? Awesome. Okay, 8, 6, 7, 5. Okay, 6, 7. Sometimes a day like this could also be the magic behind the numbers, right? We all are completely present today and we're checking everything is on high, but there are bad days as well where we are not present and it goes less than, or we are critically at a 4, just touching or just deciding whether to go to the 3 or the 5. A very healthy bunch of folks here, but do tune into the people around you, the circle around you in terms of where they are and what they are doing. Okay. Taking you back. So after this self-awareness check, an honest self-awareness check, getting a good feeling about we all are present here, I want you to take back to the dialogue that came up from Shruti's work. What was the dialogue? What was it? What was the artwork trying, the extension of between art and coach? Where in your life does this show up? this exchange of dialogue. Take a moment, pause. When this dialogue shows up, it also brings along a tone, a dynamic. Who is this really about? Is it about someone else, or is it pointing back to me, back to us?
It's about us.
Thanks, Seema. Thanks for saying that aloud. I have my own exchange of dialogue as well, which is absolutely about me here. So I now invite you to close your eyes for a second, for a moment until I ask you to open it. And imagine this situation of exchange of dialogue happening. I invite you to project that on a big screen like a movie. See the screen, see yourself in it. Notice where you are, what you're doing, how you're responding. And as you're watching this character, stay with it. Notice what role are you playing here? And what are the emotions that's surfacing? What does this version of you think and believe in that moment? And if this role has a name, what would you call it? As you see the role, as you get the name for the role, gently come back and you can open your eyes when you feel comfortable. Isn't it interesting? You know, I could see the smile on your face, Seema, and I could not see too many people because most of you are not on video, but I invite you to come on video as well. Isn't this crazy? Isn't this powerful that we took something as abstract as art, we heard it, and we could connect it to a dialogue that's frequent or that's resonating in our lives, and also the role that we play actively, right? Okay, so what does this tell us? The interesting thing is we all are playing a lot of roles in our lives, right? At any given point of time, we are playing a lot of roles. It would be actually, it will not be too much I say. In fact, there is an entire town of different versions of me existing in me. And so what you're just seeing here is, so we have a lot of roles within us, and these roles consciously or unconsciously take over as well. For example, a song can trigger a version of us. A passing comment by your colleague can trigger a role and a reaction instead of a response from us. How aware are we? So that's the unconscious way of getting into the role, and that's what we call as autopilot. But what we have experienced today is the pause is accessible. We can give ourselves permission to pause, do a self check-in, become self-aware of what role is coming into play and what I want to do with that. And every role along with it brings in a lot of choices as well in terms of how can we respond in that moment. And to access those choices, I'm inviting Kabeer to help us see how do we untangle the shift from the autopilot to an aware role and read the choices from that. Welcome, Kabeer.
Thank you so much, Shruti and Priya, bringing all the group, the participants, to pause, reflect themselves, and to see what is going inside, and to see the movie, what they have been doing, and getting connected with their inner world. And interestingly, I was looking at the chat because he asked the question that what is mental well-being? And the answers were revolving around peaceful internally, harmony inside, live in alignment. So, and so many things. But what I see in common is there is something inside. We have an internal world. Of course, we have an outer world. So the whole challenge is dealing with this internal world and the external world. And I love someone has written the equanimity. What is mental being? It's the equanimity to stay calm under even all the circumstances. So through the pose, lines, giving the meanings, taking that, Priya, that giving us what are the different roles we experience within us. Each moment that you are experiencing different internal dynamics. And by pose, by reflection, awareness, we are getting in touch with those parts and see as it is a movie inside within us. And we are able to connect with us. But now is the challenge. How do you meet and connect with these parts? That's where, in the coaching context, psychodrama helps a lot. It's a powerful tool to connect with our internal part and see how can you deal with that to evolve. There's so many things that you are saying, that peace, calmness, equanimity, balance, and all those things. So here, with the support of Priya, instead of just making some, what do you call, surprise, inviting you, volunteer and do in this short time, from the ethical perspective also, that we are demonstrating a trailer of something that has happened between me and Priya in a coaching context. So it's like that you are going to see a movie of dealing, meeting, and connecting with the two parts. So I just want to know from you, how many of you are familiar with psychodrama? So you can put in the chat. If you don't know about psychodrama, if you haven't heard about psychodrama, you just in the chat you write 1. If you know psychodrama and have some experienced something, then you write 3. If you know psychodrama and you are a coach, you are practicing it in your work, then you write 5. Even you can show with your fingers. 1 means don't know, and 3, yeah, I'm familiar, but not very much. 5, I'm practicing psychodrama in my coaching. Yeah. Yeah, 1, 2. Yeah. 3. Yeah.
Vikas's response is very funny. He's just written, I know both the words, but independently. Psycho and drama.
Psycho and drama. Yeah, that's what I like also. So those who are not aware, or those who didn't hear about the psychodrama, then my question is for them, or 1 or 2 or 3. So what do you assume? What could be the psychodrama? You are totally free to assume anything. What could be psychodrama? No right answer, no wrong answer. Except the 5, because Mani, he knows psychodrama and
So,
he's practicing.
Kabeer, if I have to guess,
Yeah.
it's probably an exaggeration of reality which happens in the mind.
Exaggeration of reality that happens in the mind. Okay. Somebody else, what's your assumption?
Very interesting responses.
Yeah. Overthinking to share the role that you know. Yeah.
Someone says
Internal
confusion, the
conflict,
drama
that our mind plays within us. Psychodynamic, overthinking, drama is going in depth about the psychological characters. Okay, good. No, all of you have given some part of what psychodrama is, and one answer that I liked very surprisingly from a client who is completely unfamiliar with psychodrama, and she is hearing the first time. I asked her, so what do you assume psychodrama? Her instant reply for my question was, without anything, that is drama of mind. That is drama which is going inside me, and that's why I'm with you now. So simply saying, connecting and collecting all those information that you have said, psychodrama is talking about you, the drama which is going inside within us. That Shruti and Priya were taking us to, were leading us to see what is going inside each and every moment. And as it is a drama, in drama that you know that in drama, there is a stage, there is a scene, there are characters, there are surprises, villain, hero, heroine, so many things, right? So like that also, every moment and every day, lot of drama is happening within us with a lot of characters. But who are these characters? These characters are none but different parts within us. Whereas you have written where you want to balance, where you want to have the equanimity, where you want to have the peace, even the outside world is burning. So there is something going within us. So psychodrama is a process. Psychodrama is a technique in the coaching which helps us to bring the drama inside, outside. So it helps us to see these parts which is going inside, outside, and our client will be playing each role of the different part. Interesting, right? And here, why do we use it? Because the client can experience deeply at the feeling level what is the part which I feel as a conflict. But is it a conflict? Let the process tell us. So many things what we consider what is happening inside, it may be having a different meaning. As Shruti has shown that you saw a paper, you have seen the image, but later you are seeing something far, far beyond the words. So what are we seeing? The experience of the client with the different parts within, letting the client to be herself. This is a psychodrama that support. Okay, so here instead of inviting the volunteers from you to do the what was your part and all those things, it takes time and also it has a process. But as you are the coaches and those who are also not coach, it will give an idea that how does it work, right? And why psychodrama and why coaching? Because we have a lot of parts within. If we alone talk with that will be again a dialogue and cognitive process within. But a psychodramatist or psychodrama practitioner who is a coach can be like a drama psychodrama director, following the coaching competencies, the listening, presence, and awareness, evoking awareness, and everything. Using these competencies, the coach can support, partner with the client to experience for the next level. Being said this, so shall we go ahead with showcasing what has happened? And it's like a teaser of a movie or a trailer of a movie. So we'll be taking the important part and somewhere I will be fast forwarding. And those who know psychodrama already, this can be done in a different way, a classical way also. But this is what happened at that particular moment with Priya, between me and Priya, which can be explained even in the terms of the countertransference or tele, right? So there is nothing right or wrong in psychodrama. It is so spontaneous what happens with the client. All right. So Priya, ready? Yeah. So what do you want to bring for the coaching today, conversation today? So can you just share with the group what you brought for the conversation?
So for me, when I was looking into the question that my artwork called for, the client question was accept me the way I am. So basically accept the art the way I am. And the question as a coach back to the client was show me where you feel not seen. So it really shows up everywhere in my life where I feel that I want my voice to be heard, my authentic self. And then there is relationships who says, no, 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 don't be too authentic. You're going to hurt people. People are not going to like that version of you, and it simmers down my authenticity. So these are the two parts that I came up with, Kabir.
Yeah, with the group, sometimes when we do this process, there could be parallel process happening with the participants. So if you have any difficulty or heaviness or something is open, ethically, I take the contract that you can connect with me, and I will support you for that, because it's a process. So I'm taking that contract in the beginning. So Priya was bringing the two parts within us, as you have seen in the movie movie that you were watching. So two roles or two parts which has been recurring with Priya, which makes her mental well-being as a conflict within, that she's not able to function well in important situations. So one part is her genuine Priya who wants to be authentic. Another part is the pleasing Priya, because that pleasing Priya is so scared of being rejected if she will be herself. It is very common for many people in a different way, and it is subjective. So, so fast forward, after a few conversation, getting more details about it. So Priya, can you choose something around you to represent that part, that genuine Priya?
Yeah. Yes. It's a
Right.
speaker.
Can you say what it is to the group? Yeah.
It's a bedside speaker, and it's not too loud. Only I can hear. I can like lie down on it and I can hear it. Nobody else can be disturbed with this.
It was something very beautiful that happened in the process. This is what happened. That voice is only inside, and she is not able to say. Even the object that she chose is very much connecting and resonating with that. And we, in the process that I enroll her and make her that part. Okay, that's a process, fast forwarding. Yes, thank you, Priya. Now, can you take another object around you to represent the other part, the pleasing part?
So it's a sponge in the shape of, bread, and looks like I'm constantly reading the room, reading the needs of the people around, and tuning in and dialing my needs up and down according to fit the room basically. So yeah, I adjust, I absorb.
Yeah. Again, interesting, fitting to the space, right? Yeah, and absorbing what the other side is there, outside is there. So there are the two parts.
Yeah.
And Priya, can you choose something to represent you also? That the client who is with me now. Yeah.
As me.
Yeah,
Okay.
anything.
I
Yeah.
can say the phone. Right now it's sitting as a mirror. So I'll just sit here.
Okay.
to
All
see
right.
me. Yeah.
Okay. So now we have the two parts. We have brought two parts, and we have named the two parts, and we have got a concretized form for these two parts. Right. Now,
Yeah.
interesting thing here is that Priya will be experiencing these two parts in the process. That's in the coaching perspective. So Priya, of these two parts, which part do you want to talk first or meet first?
I want to meet my authentic self, or yeah.
Yeah, okay. So Priya, you hold that object. When you hold that object, you are authentic Priya. This is
Yeah.
what we will do. All right.
Yes.
Now, fast forwarding, something like that. So, hi, authentic Priya. How are you?
All good, Kabir.
Yeah, Priya. So, authentic Priya, you have been with Priya for a long time,
Yeah.
as I heard from her. Yeah. So, can you say something more about you?
So I think I have been with her since her teens. I have made that's the earliest I could think of, and I usually come to protect her own need in a situation, like be it something with her mom, or be it something with her friends or at school or anything. She has an idea, she's brilliant, but then when she's scared of voicing it, so I come in and I tell her, come on, be yourself, trust yourself as well. So I feel I'm giving her voice and courage and confidence. Uh, yeah. So I've been in her life since her teen. Yeah.
And what do you feel about the other part?
The other part is a scared one, okay? Constantly adjusting, constantly asking me to adjust, constantly asking me, no, 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 you will be rejected. And she's just filling Priya's head with, you will be the fear of rejection, basically. So I don't like her, and I'm often angry and upset with her.
Does she know that?
Not sure whether she knows that, but then, yeah, we are constantly at loggerheads. If she's present, I'm not able to be fully present. If I'm there, then I don't give her room.
So what do you think, Priya, if you meet her sometimes?
It will be interesting, Kabeer. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, fast forward. We will have some more conversation with this part to enroll her. We call it as the enrolling. The process is enrolling so that Priya will have truly that role. She will be in that role as that particular, that the genuine Priya. All right. So once she is properly enrolled, when ready to meet the other part. Okay. Now role change. Now Priya is changing to the other role. Yeah. Hi, Priya. May I know what's your name? What name I will call you?
I'm probably the balancing Priya, balancing every situation and bringing in joy and friends and people in her life.
Yeah, I heard from Priya that you are pleasing a lot to balance all these roles.
Okay, I like it.
You like it.
Yeah.
And she calls you as a pleasing Priya.
I don't know. I don't like that word pleasing and all. I think Priya needs a lot of people around her. Without me, she'll be very lonely.
Yeah. Oh, without you, she will be really lonely.
Yeah, because I'm the one who is bringing in people around her. I'm making her life interesting with activities, with people to go around and hang out with. So,
Yeah, what is the purpose of being with her?
To make her life joyful, to make her, have a lot of connections, to make her feel loved and never lonely.
Is she really happy?
Yes.
With your support?
Most of the time, yes. Until the other version kicks in. Yeah.
Priya, I heard that she has something else to talk to you.
Let's hear. Yeah.
Are you ready to listen to her?
Let's hear.
Yeah, okay. So role change. Yeah, so Priya is enrolled with both role. More questions, I am fast forwarding. And these two parts of Priya will be meeting now, right? Okay. Yeah, genuine Priya, the other part is here. So what do you want to talk to her?
I want to tell her that you always make me
You tell her.
compromise.
You tell her what you want to tell her. Because she is there in front of you.
Okay. So, hey, you always make us compromise on what our needs are. Like, even in the recent example where we are planning this vacation along with friends, your logic is you're bringing in people and, fun and friends and everything. But then if you're not able to be yourself with them, what's the point of those relationships? So I don't get it. So, people are planning so many things in terms of their own versions of or their own ideas of vacation, and I'm not aligned. I don't want to go and follow a dress code or wake up at a certain time or do a tick box of looking around and stuff like that. So if I'm not being heard, if you're not allowing me to speak my mind and allow myself to be authentic, what's the point of all these fake folks around me?
I'm
I
really
feel
angry
fake
with
in
you.
me. I'm
really
angry.
angry.
I'm angry. I'm upset.
Super
I
angry
just
with
feel
you.
you're stupid. When you're not being yourself, you're playing stupid. You're just being something else. You're not being yourself.
And I'm so exhausted of telling you again and again all these things.
Exactly. It's happening for so many years now, and I really don't understand why we have to keep editing ourselves to fit into somebody else's version and not upset people around you. So I'm super upset and I'm pissed off with you.
Yeah. To the group, as opposed to the group. So this is called the doubling. When we do that, so what the coach finds, that psychodramatist finds in the client, in that role, the genuine role, and when she's not able to say it, but not expressing, but I feel that I say it, and check with her, is it that? So when she say, yes, she said that, I'm angry. She said, yeah, I'm super angry, right? So this is a doubling process, which is a tele that happens during the process, one thing. Second thing, before we start, we also set the stage. So the stage and scene was that Priya wanted to go for a picnic and there was some conflict. That was the scene. And she is referring to that, to this particular part. Right. Okay. So role change. So you
I'm feeling a
heard
little
what she
breathless
said.
because she is shouting. She's so angry. How can I allow this to happen with people around me? She's shouting in me. I'm not able to tolerate within myself. If I allow her in the name of authenticity, probably she's going to blast people. She's going to make everyone around me uncomfortable. And this will leave Priya with no friends and no loved ones around her. She's constantly saying, my way, my way, my way. And then who's going to like that kind of a person? So
Yeah.
I'm super
Fast
scared of
forward.
her.
Yeah. Fast
Yeah.
forward. So we'll have multiple rounds of, we had multiple rounds of role change between these two parts. And after some time, and in the whole this stage, it was completely conflict, fighting each other and expressing their emotions in each role and going and going and going. And after some time, through the conversation, through the role change, you see that what happened. Okay, so role change with the genuine Priya. You are genuine Priya now. Yeah, genuine Priya, you had long discussion with the other part.
Yeah.
What is evolving now?
So I think I get her point to the extent that it's her efforts, it's her efforts that we do have fun. Otherwise, life could be boring. So I get that point that, she brings in friends, she brings in, plans, she brings in opportunities for us to even showcase, be it my own authenticity. She kind of sets the stage for that. So I see her point, but I need my space also. And I'm wondering, if she's open to listen to me actually, and if she also sees where I'm coming from.
Yeah. Post yourself now, Priya. Can you share with the group what actually happened? What is the shift happened through the conversation? The role shifts.
So the change that happened. So it's a real experience, and for this, for the ICW thing, we were working behind the scenes, and there was a real conflict between my authentic self and this. And what came up after multiple exchange of role reversal was both had something valuable to offer to Priya basically. This one was the identity, the authentic self was the identity on which Priya feels that she is herself. It's her personality. It's she expressing her needs and her desires in any situations. And this one was actually doing all the work to, fill her life with joy. And eventually, after role reversal, I think they both encountered each other. They saw the merit in their actions. So instead of having that conflict, they realized, can we partner? Can we do something together in the next situation that we are going to face outside of us? So that was the awareness, Kabir. And yeah.
So this is a shift that happens through the conflict before, sorry, through the process before these two parts were in conflict, and through the conversation in psychodrama, we saw that there is a high level of interpersonal empathy. So there is an interpersonal empathy between these two parts. So rather than conflicting and fighting each other, they realize both these two parts has something to do with this the real Priya, the original Priya, our client. And by the end, Priya, can you share that? What was the last conversation that you had in the role?
So shall I bring myself as the witness here?
Yeah, please.
I also are absolutely crucial in my life, and I need both their support. Beginning of the conversation, my presence was not even available to the external world. I was absent to the external world. The voice in my head was so much that I am not even thinking about my vacation or able to positively plan about it. In fact, I'm getting the sense of aversion. Why the hell am I, going through this? It's just going to be a sorry state sort of a thing. But when I saw the possibility of both these parts coming together, I realized that, hey, once in a while, I can actually, allow myself to say, I'm not interested in doing this activity. Or I can invite them into my thing. Can we plan this for a later date or the evening? So when the internal noise and conflict reduced, I could clearly hear what my problem is, what my need is, and I can communicate.
Two parts find harmony. And also in the process, what happened was that the Priya is getting resource from within. So what's the resource I'll take to have this harmony? And that is what she finds. So Priya, I was talking about the resource that you got through the process in the conversation. So where do we reach?
Yeah.
She gets a resource, and also in the process we make that using this resource. The lovely part is that there is an outer world, and we are responding to that outer world. And when we respond to that outer world is the scene, going for the picnic or excursion, planning the vacation. So that's an ecosystem around us. And in the process, we have two parts within us conflicting. And it can be dealt because the resource is there within, because she was getting that the harmony with awareness. Harmony with awareness was the resource she found in the process. So there is no sacrificing. That's the important thing. So there's a tolerance, but the tolerance is not with the sacrifice. Tolerance is with awareness, and it is an informed choice from why psychodrama? From not the cognitive thinking part, but actual feeling of that two parts and harmonizing it within. That's where we are using the psychodrama as a tool. Otherwise, we can go for a cognitive discussion or the other way that usually we do. So why we are using or bringing the psychodrama as a tool? Because sometimes you need the client to have a deeper level feeling, connecting with the larger who, where they can experience more without taking her or pulling her to the therapy. And that's another interesting part. So we didn't go to therapy. We kept ourselves at the coaching level, but at the same time, we have deeper feeling level and evoked awareness. And she got the resource from within. And now she is ready to see what will be the next time. And we had a role training also for that. After that how with this resource you will talk to these people. And we had that part also. So this is how we use psychodrama as a tool in coaching to bring the mental well-being, that is the harmony within, to coexist with the different parts, which is in conflict. And as we said, even though somebody was asking that, even if we are sad, can we be mentally well-being? So even if the whole ecosystem and the outer world is still difficult, you learn or you are prepared to synchronize, to tolerate without sacrificing. That's it. Back to you now, your questions, your experience, how do you feel? All those things.
Before we step into that, just a humble nudge, right? As we talk about psychodrama, thank you so much, firstly, Kabeer and Priya. I think what a interesting thing to witness, right? A lot of insights coming from this experience and understanding what psychodrama is. as we witness this also, a certain, I'm sure for me this happens, and I'm trying to relate to this, is that it feels a lot heavy. We have our own conversation going on in our mind, right? As Priya is talking to her two personalities, we think, oh, I have these two as well, or I have this personality within me. And all of that is kind of coming up. So if that is happening to you, let that be, because that is very normal. The one thing I would invite you, and if you may just stay with me for a minute, take a few moments now to gently return to yourself, right? And if you're comfortable, let your feet meet the ground a little more fully. Notice if your feet are meeting the ground fully. Notice the support beneath you, the chair that's holding you, right? The floor that's beneath you. If it feels comfortable now, put your palms together. And if you're okay, then notice rubbing your palms together, right? However you feel rubbing it, there's no right or wrong way in this. Rub your hands together, right? It's the movement, the feeling of coming back to your body. Take a slow breath in and a softer breath out. Slow breath in, a softer breath out. There's no need to breathe perfectly. There's no perfect breathing here. Just remember to breathe, right? Just enough to notice yourself again, to bring your back to center, right? And now maybe loosen your shoulders a little bit, just a little, right? Just move your body just a little bit. You can wiggle your ankles if you'd like. Wiggle your ankles clockwise, anti-clockwise. The reason of doing this right after psychodrama is sometimes the body continues to carry, to hold on to moments that you've just passed, right? And maybe that's not the heaviness you want to leave this session with, right? So let this be a small release, right? Keep rubbing your hands wherever it feels okay for you. I want to say okay, wherever it feels okay for you, that you're grounded on your body, your heart, your arms, wherever it feels most grounded, just touch yourself, right? Place your arms there and simply ask yourself, what feels steady? Steady right now. What feels steady? Be with that. You're allowed to leave with awareness without carrying the heaviness from this session, right? And whatever came up today, I humbly thank you on behalf of the three of us and Regal that you showed up with honesty and so much authenticity. So a final deep breath together. As you slowly return to your time, we've still got a few minutes. Go ahead. Anything you want to share in awareness, in questions and thoughts, unmute yourself. We love democracy and we love seeing your beautiful faces and hearing your lovely voice. So go ahead, speak up.
This was a heavy session. Priya, I could relate so much to what you're going through.
Then we succeeded.
And thank you, Shruti, for the final unwinding and releasing it. Those small exercises make such a big difference. And again, remembering to breathe, as much as we tell our clients, important for us to remember. But this was extremely interesting. I really loved it. I'm very curious now to explore further. Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And of course, as somebody has asked also in the chat, of course, it can be used and it will be a little heavy because the most adventurous part, the journey is the journey to ourself inside. So when we go inside from the outer world and when you meet the real part, which is to be what you call addressed, that part becomes heavy. And as you said, how you change and we go with all the process. What will be the action? We will de-roll and we will find the resource and the client will leave only after grounded, rooted, having the confidence. And the coach take the responsibility to partner between the sessions, what happens, right? And it's a long process. And somebody has asked that whether we can we play the role game and role play. Just I want to share with you to clarify a few words. This is not role play. Okay, this is called role reversal. Why is it different from role play? Role play is that you assume a role and you play that role. It's not like that. This is role reversal. That client is taking the actual role of that part with it. And can we play it? You can do it, but with clear, deep practice of a psychodramatist coach, because you need to know that how do you enroll the client to that part. And the coaching competencies that we say that the presence, listening, and the safety and the trust, this is so important. And that's what is being the coach. So don't jump into that just feeling that, this, okay, you say, it's not role play. It is something very, very deeper. And also, it's also with the feeling level, not allowing to think more, but making to feel, because that is where we connect with the internal part. That's why it feels heavy also. So these are the few information that I would like to share with the process. And this is role reversal, only one part of the psychodrama. We have taken one tool of the role reversal for the psychodrama here.
Thank you, Kabeer. As I know some of us who so graciously joined have just skipped away. For people who are already on, please do us the honors and show us your beautiful faces. We can take a picture with everyone on that. Again, makeup, no makeup. I love, Gabby, how you're so aligned with nature. I want to be where you are. That's how I'm feeling right now. So join us on camera, please. Let's take a picture. It's a moment. It's a memory. We've spent an hour and a half together. What else, right? Sonia, are you on? Would you take the picture, or should I?
I'm going to take it on my phone.
Okay, lovely. As long as someone's taking the picture. Thank you so much, everyone, for joining.
I really like the experience of this role reversal. I have never seen it before. I have been seeing role playing. But my question is, what about if your client is not in that moment? I mean, when she cannot distance herself, like she cannot see these two, the true self and the ego. What can we do as coaches if that person is one step behind these? Because in order to do what you do, my coachee needs to have some kind of awareness that mental chatting is happening, But what happens when she or he is not aware of this mental chatting and she takes this for granted? I don't know what to do. And the second question is, I can see that this technique, if it is a technique, I don't know, very crucial, very important, the role reversal do work with a lot of emotions. So if you don't know how to handle emotion in your clients, in your coaches, it can be very, very dangerous, because you can give free praise for emotions that you don't know how to handle, anger or sadness. So I can see that what importance are the emotions in this practice. Also in coaching, I have seen it. And yeah, that's it for now.
Interesting question, Gabby. One more very, very, very basic thing about this part is, you as the psychodramatist coach, I'm using the word, a psychodramatist coach, means that you are already trained and certified as a psychodrama practitioner or director. Because I'm doing it because I've learned it for the 4 years. My certification to do the process. It's not just to understand. There are simple techniques which we can do the otherwise. This is very core thing. So from the beginning itself, Gabby, you remember that I said that, can you choose something to represent? And there I will enroll. That is the first part. In that role, in that role enrollment itself, the psychodramatic that coach understand whether the client is warmed up for or that not.
Oh,
Okay, so everything is there. But as you said that if the client is not ready to meet that part, I ask that, are you ready to meet? I ensured through the conversation. So the coach easily understands from the very beginning itself whether the client is warmed up for the process or not. And when we talk, sometimes they will say that she. No, because that is a signal for the coach to know that she's not enrolled. She's not ready for that. So once you know that she's not ready, don't do the process.
Okay.
That's very important. That is very, very, very important. And as you said that if you are not able to manage the emotions in the process, that's why you have to be very trained in this part.
Yeah.
And we are well trained for that. It's like that how we are trained in our core competencies. Just like that, we are also trained how to use this part.
What a lovely question to kind of conclude us with. We're at time. But I do invite everyone who's got these questions to please connect. I have learned, if nothing else, from Subhash and the Regal community that cohort learning is an utter joy. So if there is anything that you think you're taking away from this session today, connect with people, have a conversation, nothing to lose. But for valuable time, of course, and hopefully it is worth it. So with that, thank you so much, everyone, for joining, and have a wonderful, wonderful weekend ahead.
Thank you, Shruti. Thank you, everyone.
Thanks, everyone.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you.